Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I had leftover spaghetti with red sauce and all kinds of things in it, and I need to make sure there's nothing in my teeth. A internet stranger commented on one of my videos asking me to do another mask in chat. He, she, they didn't have to ask me twice. That sounds like a great time. The mask I used in the last video made my face really red. And apparently people were saying that that's normal with clay masks and I shouldn't have overreacted. But as a girl who gets perioral dermatitis and just generally has sensitive skin, anytime I see a patch of red, immediately I'm at alert. And I think I would have proceeded, now that I know that clay masks have that effect, if the skin texture looked significantly better the next day or whatever, and it really didn't. I just didn't feel like it made enough of a difference to make the burny red feeling worthwhile. I will say the brand was so cool. I sent them an email and I was like, hey, my skin did not like this, and they immediately sent me a label to return it. And that's really cool. They didn't even make me prove it to them, although I did take pictures just in case they insisted that I do that, but they didn't care. And I think that their customer service was really great. So I would recommend that clay mask for someone who doesn't have sensitive skin or has a different skin type than me, because they seem really awesome. And it's like Australian, which is cool, and it has cool ingredients. So I don't want to put anyone off of it. I just don't think that it worked for me. We are gonna see if this one works. I feel like such an influencer. This one, we're gonna see if it works for me. Shani Darden. I think that Shani Darden has a bit of a cult following because the people on the internet who knew of this were obsessed with it. I have her eye cream. It's a very innocuous eye cream, but it's very hydrating, doesn't make me feel red. It doesn't give me the little like bumps under my eyes or anything. It's a very nice eye cream, but it's just an eye cream. So I wasn't sure if she could handle more intense stuff. And we're gonna find out today because this sounds scary. This is a triple acid signature peel that is going to resurface, brighten, and refine my skin, which sounds dope. Apparently, there are 2 treatments in here. One is a trio of lactic acid, glycolic, and mandelic acid that exfoliate at all levels of the skin to reveal radiance. Buckle in, I'm gonna be radiant. Step 2 is a neutralizing clay mask packed with antioxidants to help deep clean my pores, which is why I went for a clay mask in the first place, because I felt like I have like pores here and here that get clogged, and I wanted to unclog them. Someone on the internet told me that not only did it look great when they took it off, but it looked even better the next day. So my hopes are high, and as you know, that is a recipe for disaster. But fuck it, it's too late. I've already sauntered into high expectation land. Oh my gosh, it comes with a brush! Hang on, guys. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, for reference, this box costs $39. I think there's a more economical way to do it if you can get like a bigger version of it. But the reason I spent $39 instead of getting the economical version is because if it didn't work for me, I didn't want to have a big thing. I wanted just to try it out. So this is the cutesy little brush that they give you. Let's read the instructions. Step 1, apply even layer, blah, blah, blah. With provided brush, okay. Avoid lip and eye area, no problemo. Start off by leaving it on for 1 minute. Building up to leave it on for longer, but no longer than 2 minutes. Because slight tingling is experienced. Oh, juniper breeze. That doesn't sound good. Fingers crossed. Okay, so it comes with 2. I honestly don't know if I'm even gonna use this entire tub because I don't know if you can tell from this screen, but I have a face the size of a pea, and I don't normally need to use very much product to cover it, but we're gonna find out. Oh, okay. It's kind of slippy. I have nothing on my face. I get my headband. Oh, I can already feel it. Ah! Okay. Everybody panic, everybody panic! This is what it looks like. It's like a gel consistency. This is so satisfying. Thank you, Shani. Okay. Ooh, it's cold. I think I might have brought it too close to my mouth. She literally did tell me not to put it near my mouth. Okay. There we go. I didn't use it all because I got a little nervous. But I did use most of it. There's not that much in the container. All right, we're gonna set the timer for 1 minute, see how it feels, and then I'm gonna wash it off. I don't know if I'm supposed to wash it off with soap. I need to go find the instructions. Okay, I'm done. It says do not rinse. It says start off by leaving it on for 1 minute, no longer than 2. Do not rinse and follow with step 2, but then I'd be leaving it on for a really long time. Okay, you know what? I rinsed. It was getting kind of stingy. Although already my skin kind of looks nice. So, whatever. All right, I'm just gonna skip right to step 2. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna put it on again. My skin is already looking a little bit red, but I am gonna just put it on and then put the clay mask right over it because it said to do that and I have more in here. So, guys, this is such an experiment. My forehead, my nose, and then my cheeks. I tend to get my perioral dermatitis on my chin, so I think I'm gonna avoid doing that again. I put it on there the first time, but not again. Okay, maybe a little bit just here. We're gonna be brave. Step 2, clay mask. Put it on with clean hands. My hands are clean, and I'm not gonna put it on with the brush. I'm gonna put it on with my paws. Dee dee dee. Oh, it stings. It stung for a second and now it doesn't anymore, so that's good. Clay mask applied. I'm gonna go wash my hands. I've had my period for like 20 years. I mean, literally, like I think I got my period when I was like 15 or 16 and then maybe 15. And then now I'm 34. So it's not my first rodeo is the point. And yet every time PMS comes around, I feel surprised by how negative I am to myself. And it's really tough because it's the kind of thing where it's so self-inflicted that even if all of your friends around you sent you a message being like, I think you're great, you got this, you still wouldn't believe them because inside you're just seething with self-hatred and frustration and exhaustion. And that's what I was going through this week. And it's so ironic because the week prior I was feeling kind of proud of myself and the things that I was accomplishing on Substack. And let's be clear, when I say the things that I'm accomplishing, I still have 28 followers on Substack. I'm not measuring it by the number of followers. It's tempting to do that, and sometimes, like when I'm PMSing, I get really sad that I don't have more followers because it makes me feel like, why am I doing this? Is it worth it anyway? But then I remember, oh no, I'm not doing this for the follows. I'm writing and I'm creating videos because I'm learning about what I think about the world, and those are the ways that I go about doing that. I think everyone's different, but I have always learned about myself and the world around me through writing and through talking it out. I'm so excited to make videos. I'm so excited to write articles regardless of the number of followers. But it is tough when you spend like hours and hours, days, weeks working on an article or whatever, and then no one reads it. You do kind of feel a little dumb. Without fail, my husband reads it because he is a fantastic man and I love him, and that's exciting. And he's always very encouraging. But two things can be true at the same time. Like one, I can remind myself that it's not about the followers or the likes or the external validation, but then also feel frustrated when I spend a lot of time on something and no one reads it. I recently finished this incredible book called The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend. It is so beautiful. That woman is endlessly talented. She's a genius. She's a genius. The book is published in 1970, and in 1995, she wrote an afterword to the book. At that point, she'd already won a Nobel Prize in literature. Even from the validation of a Nobel Prize, in her afterwards to The Bluest Eye, she writes that she doesn't think she was successful with the book because people didn't have the reaction to it that she wanted them to. And I just thought it was so admirable that for her, the success of the book was not about the number of people who read it. It wasn't about the accolades. It wasn't about getting the prizes. It was about getting an idea across to other people effectively. Okay, this is starting to dry. There's a really loud truck driving by. She goes on to explain that she thinks readers not having the reaction that she wanted them to have to these ideas is what for her means that she didn't execute it properly. Which, what a humble and thoughtful response to your own writing. Idea and the effort, the idea and the effort is always more important than the number of people who read it, but that doesn't mean that the audience isn't important. The audience is in a way another character. And God, that's one of the things I really like about social media is this immediate feedback. Like if people do watch your stuff and then leave a comment, you're able to interact with human beings that you maybe wouldn't reach otherwise, and you're able to connect. Even though there's so many dark things on the internet, there's also a lot of joy. To sound like overly optimistic, but there's a lot of really cool people that want to connect. They want to have their brains expanded or just have a cutesy little gossip with a friend. I love the way you can make friends on the internet. I love the way that you can share something really like embarrassing or intimate, and then someone can reply being like, oh my God, exactly the same with me. This is how I reacted to it, or ha ha ha, isn't that funny? I have this new, pen pal is probably the only way to describe it, but there is this woman on Substack, and we've like formed a friendship via our Substacks. And I think she's Australian, and I think she lives in London. And obviously I live in San Diego. And I genuinely love this girl. Like, I think she's awesome. I love reading her stuff. I love when she replies to my stuff. And isn't that just so cool? I just try to remind myself, in the spirit of Toni Morrison, having an idea, attempting an idea is more important than the number of people that read it. But when people do read it, interacting with them, like responding to their response, using that to evaluate how you express yourself. I think all of that is part of the process, and is more important than your success. It's more important than the accolades. I know it's such a catch-22. Would it be nice to make money on videos and on Substack? That would be a dream come true. But that can't be my measure of success, or I'll never write. We're bombarded every single day with seemingly never-ending numbers of people that are further along in their career, and people who have achieved more of their dreams than we have or than I have. And it's really disorienting. It's super disorienting because it makes you think, well, dang, I shouldn't even try, because look at the hundreds of thousands of people that are further ahead of me. But that can't be our response, or we will do nothing. We will do absolutely nothing. For years, I did do absolutely nothing because I was so debilitated by my perfectionism, by this sense that like everyone else is already doing it better than me, or there's already so-and-so writing this and so-and-so filming that, like who needs me? And no one needs me, but I need me. Like I need me to show up. This sounds so cheesy. I'm gonna wash my face now. Okay, I'll rinse my face. It's a little bit red, but I think it's red because I used warm water, and it's nowhere near as patchy and red as it was when I used the last mask. So I think this is better for sensitive skin than the one I used the other day. Oh, my skin feels great. It doesn't feel stripped or tight in a drying way. See, did I get it all out of my hair? Wow, I feel wonderful. Okay, Shani, my hair's been looking really stringy lately, and I'm getting a haircut. I think I'm gonna go to like here. There. I don't know if any of that made sense. When you're a kid, you think you can be anything or anyone. And I think that's a really good thing for a kid to think. But then at a certain point, adulthood kind of smacks you in the face. Really wrestled with myself for a while. I was putting pen to paper in such a private way, and I never was allowing myself to even think like, oh, what if I started a blog, or what if I started a YouTube channel? Because that just seemed so But other people are already doing that. No one needs you to do that. It seemed embarrassing and cringe and scary. And for the record, it is embarrassing and cringe and scary. But I finally just realized fun of doing it outweighs the embarrassment of doing it. And no, I'm not Toni Morrison or Zadie Smith or Emma Chamberlain, but maybe I can be something for myself. Like maybe I can be more of me. I think in hiding away from taking action, I wasn't even figuring out who I am, let alone trying to become something bigger. I can be quite competitive. I can be a perfectionist, and all those things kind of get in your way. They've gotten in my way. I want to be the kind of person who, and then fill in the blank. And for me, that's how I ended up quitting my job in New York. I want to be the kind of person who takes a risk. But the same thing is true if you think about it from the other perspective, which is, imagine you're 80 years old. You want to be able to say to yourself, I tried. I did the crazy thing. I embarrassed myself. Because that's a full life. And I really want to live a full life. And there's a billion reasons why not to. But all there needs to be is a singular reason why to do something. That's enough. Just one. Do I sound too much like Tony Robbins at this point? Is this a little too Oprah recommended book club? I went on a rant on TikTok the other day about how successful people who attribute their success to manifestation, you can't really listen to them because that's a confirmation bias. There are probably plenty of unsuccessful people who are manifesting all the time and aren't getting where they want to be, and they're proving that manifestation doesn't work. So it's a hard thing, but I do think it's healthy to hope and aspire and take action. Like, all those things are brave and cool and worthwhile. And sometimes making a vision board on Pinterest is fun. But sometimes it's also like haunting you with a vision of all the people that are doing the things that you want to be doing and can't do, or aren't doing, or aren't successful enough to do, or whatever. God, I don't know. In this vacuum that's been created by the breakdown of the American dream, I just feel like, what are we filling it with? I don't know. I don't think there is anything that we're filling it with. We're all just it's just a bunch of like existential dread, and we're all trying to build a life somehow. It's getting a little itchy, which is probably just like dead skin. I think I'm gonna put on some lotion. Okay, lotion applied. Ooh, that feels better. I'm going to Scandinavia next week. So excited. So who knows, I might be inspired to write a bunch of different things. But for now, I am working on 2 substacks, and I'm still fleshing out the ideas. One of them is on beauty standards, in part inspired by the Bluest Eye. There's actually an incredible line in here. The idea of physical beauty, probably the most destructive idea in the history of human thought, originated in envy, thrived in insecurity, and ended in disillusion. In equating physical beauty with virtue, she stripped her mind, bound it, and collected self-contempt by the heap. It's one of those moments where you're like, why do I even try to write? Because that's genius. But to silence myself because someone else is a genius is not good for my soul. She is so good. So anyway, I'm going to write a Substack on beauty standards, especially in light of all of the things that are on my TikTok For You page. Every single celebrity has disappeared. They are just bone now. And that's disturbing. And then I think I'm also going to write a Substack on the history of gossip, because I learned a bunch of things about the history of gossip that are really interesting and applicable to how we interact with each other as social beings. The ways that we arrange ourselves, the ways that we find the boundaries of our own moral framework is through gossip. And the history of gossip is actually really fascinating. So I think I'm going to write another one about that. And then a summary of Mark Fisher's Capitalist Realism book is also going to go up on my Substack in due time. As I said in the beginning, I'm in a weird place. I'm PMSing, so if none of this made sense, well, blame my period. If my face suddenly transforms tomorrow, I will keep you updated. But so far, Shani did a good job. I can't snap. Oh my God, I really can't snap.